So this is a mess I left for my mom this morning. She had to leave today. That's the Target order. This is the mess that I left. Okay? I apologize to her and explained to her what happened that I'm about to tell you. Well, let's preface this with, and my mom agreed, I said, have I ever left this kind of mess for you when you were getting up and leaving for the day, ever? Or not, for leaving for a little while. Not the entire day, but you know what I mean. She's like, no. I said, I'm really sorry I did that, Mama. Omar, you need to go to sleep. Your food is moistening. I gave you peanut butter and bread. Natural peanut butter, that's just peanuts. Organic, natural peanut butter. It's just peanuts and nothing else. So that's the only kind of peanut butter you should give to a dog, if you give it any peanut butter at all to a dog. You need to go to sleep. You need to relax. I gave you peanut butter. I took you out in the pouring rain. You peed, even though you'd already peed twice. You need to go to sleep, Omar. All right. So I'm going to tell you about the mess. Why I left a mess. I left a mess in the kitchen. Because I couldn't move. I was absolutely exhausted. I had an exhausting day. I walked, took public transportation to Macy's, returned all that stuff. That whole big order that I did was like $180, and I returned everything but the snake print skirt that I showed you of mine. I returned that. So, but my mom kept one. She doesn't wear it like a skirt or skirt. She wears it with her leggings or her stretchy spandex things. I returned everything but that. And those pink shorts that I had to keep because I forgot about last act being final act. Final sale. Okay? I never experienced that before, like I've been pointing out to you or to anyone else. I talked about it. I will never buy last act again online. I would in a store when I could try it on and know that I want it beyond any shadow of any doubt, but online, never, ever. Particularly not clothing, that's for sure. Not anything. I don't really buy anything but clothing. Omar, shut up! It's nearing the end for him. That's reality. I can't take this. I can take taking care of him. I can take feeding him 4 times a day. It adds up to a couple hours in and of itself. I can't take the whining and crying because he can't stand up, and he's never going to be able to stand up, okay? I can't take the whining and the crying. It didn't used to be like this. It's gotten worse. Normally, if he's gone to the bathroom and he's eaten, he'll go to fucking sleep and not be whining or crying because he can't stand up. I can't take it. I know he's not upside down. When he's like that, he starts really screaming. Or then I have to let him cry. Hopefully he'll go to sleep. I didn't have his food. I fed him at 2:30 in the goddamn morning. Okay? and I gave him his last of his food that it was supposed to be saved for today. So he was screaming, and I gave him some peanut butter and bread that they say you can give a dog in a pinch if you don't have dog food. In my case, the dog food, he can't have the hard food, and I didn't soften it. I planned to give him that last meal, and then I'd have a few hours for it to soften, but I gave it to him in the middle of the night because he was screaming, and I needed to sleep. I was exhausted. He just wants to fucking cry. He cries in there, and then if I try to hold him, he cries too, so. It struggles. These are sleeper jogger. They're pajamas from Macy's. Got a whole bunch of different sizes for me and for my mom, and a couple of different colors. Limited time special was not last act. So you can imagine I wasn't too happy when I got a delivery notice saying, these are last act or final sale. I hadn't looked at my account. I just freaked out. I'm like, no, they weren't last act. Even if they changed the last act, you can't do that. Only in the Twilight Zone can you do that. They didn't start off last act. So you can't say, oh, well, they changed the last act, so now they're considered last act for you, and you can't return them. That would be insanity. That would be insanity, mind you. And then I call up, and the employee, I just wanted reassurance, and instead she's like, well, if it was limited time, she just, oh my God, what? And then I said to her, I'm like, what if I wanted to return them by mail? Okay, what if I didn't have a Macy's anywhere near me? You need to tell me. You'd look at my account and they're not last act. What is wrong with you? Then I was going to wait for a manager and it was taking forever. I shouldn't need a manager. Just tell me. Just look at my account. You know, these morons. I got mad. I don't usually get mad at these people. But when they're that moronic, look at my account. I know that it's not last act when I bought it. I'm going to have a fit. I spent like $100. I know better. They weren't last act when I bought them just because they changed now to last act. And instead of just looking at my account, she's like, well, limited time. No, shut the fuck up! And then I looked at my account and saw that I had a month to return them, that if they weren't last act. But she should have been able to tell me that immediately. Immediately. I gave you my order number. Tell me that I have a month to return them. Let me hang up and not be on the phone with you forever. Things can always change to last act. If they're not last act when I bought them, then I get the 30 days. I didn't know. I just was immediately calling someone wanting reassurance, and instead I get fucking dunce, whatever. I get bullshit. I gave you my order number. You should be able to look and tell me, and I play devil's advocate. What if I was returning them by mail? You'd have to tell me that I have this many days to return them, right? And then she looks, she's like, well, yeah, I'm showing that. Then why didn't you say that in the first place? Why do I have to wait for a manager that's never going to fucking come, ever? These are just $13.34, regular $30. I like them. They're an extra large, and they're pajamas, but they don't look like pajamas. Whereas some of my pajamas, first of all, the pink and black ones you've seen, I'll go out with Omar and have cars go by and whatever, and they're obviously I'm wearing pajamas, but you know, So what? It's in my yard, and then I have other ones that are stained. Shut the fuck up, Omar! Can't take it. He's nearing the end of his existence. I can't take it. I can't. I fed you and you're still crying. Can't you just go to sleep? Isn't my life miserable enough? I took him out to the bathroom. I fed him. He's still crying. Anyway, when I used to, Omar, be quiet! Back when I used to dance on my EarthCam TV, Alicia's World channel, decades ago. More than 20 years ago. Back when I thought I was depressed, I didn't know the meaning of the word. Back when I had zero clue about the true nature of this world. Anyhow, as some of you know, I had thousands, tens of thousands of fans across the world. All different countries, whatever, just like now. I had, and probably mostly men, of course, but I had men here and there saying to me, you need to stop being so selfish and have children. Stop being so selfish. Focus on them. You know what? There are women, there are men and women, but we'll just focus on women, mothers. There are women in this world who should never, ever, ever be mothers. And I've always been one of those women, and that's just reality, okay? I love my Omar, but I've never had to deal with this shit with him ever. I can deal with taking care of endlessly. It's the fucking whining that I can't stand. Do you understand? The crying and the whining. The crying and the whining that there's nothing you can do about, okay? And from what I know, and it was even on an episode recently of Good Doctor, Morgan was trying to have whatever you call those treatments to get pregnant, you know, with whatever you call that. Having the treatments to get pregnant via not having a husband. So she got sperm or whatever. Okay, she's been trying to get pregnant and because she's older, I guess, in her 30s. I don't know, but she's having the treatments. And she gave up having the treatments because a beautiful little girl, a baby of a patient who was homeless, died. So Morgan decided to stop with the treatments and adopt, have this little girl. She's going to adopt the little girl. Little girl is going to be her little girl, the baby, and Eden's what she's looking for, blah, blah, whatever. Well, and Eden has some kind of heart thing, makes her Morgan did try to have her be adopted before she decided to take her, but nobody would take her because she has the heart thing, and that makes it a little difficult, but not impossible to take care of her. But if you have a choice, why they want to adopt someone not like that, So Morgan has her baby, her adopted baby, and there's an episode where Eden will not no matter what Morgan does, Eden will not stop crying. And I experienced that vicariously, watching it, and was going nuts just watching it. And that's what my mom said I was a good baby, I didn't cry, but there are babies that no matter what you do, they will not stop crying. I can understand, not condone it, of course, you still have to go to jail or whatever, but I can see why there are people, mothers who snap. If you have a baby that no matter what you do, like was happening with Morgan and Eden, no matter what she did, Eden would not stop crying. And Morgan wasn't sleeping, she was going out of her fucking mind. Okay? I'd never experienced that before him and is unable to get up and whining and crying. It's still not a human baby, you know. I've periodically had my mom give me a break and just, you stay out here with Omar and watch him, please, Mom. You can watch TV, but just pay attention if he starts screaming because he's upside down, stuck or something. But if he's just sitting up and whining and crying, you just ignore it. But anyway, there are women who shouldn't be mothers, and I had a coworker saying it's selfish for any woman to not have a kid. I think too many women have kids who shouldn't. Okay? Far too many. I think I was doing the non-selfish thing to not have a kid just for, you know. Anyhow, that's my story about that. I slept out here because I had a long day with going and returning that stuff and then getting back here for my mother's doctor appointment or advanced one, like a wellness appointment where you're there a long time and answer a lot of questions. And I told the truth. I said, you know, we had those 2 bad days that I told you about before. And then Mama's been great. Oh my God. Come here. You want to sit with me? Sometimes he'll sit with me. Sometimes. Sometimes he'll sit and go to sleep. I've seen it happen. Sometimes not. And the social worker's like talking about my mom, who she thinks there's nothing wrong with her. But we know that there is. We know she had all the heart problems. There's nothing wrong with my heart. Mom, when you were sick, you refused to go get a repeat of that test. You know, your doctor says Entresto actually can help with that. We really, that was 8-9 months ago. We need to know if your numbers have improved. I'm begging you to go, begging you. And she said, I said, you told me you would go. No, I didn't. Yeah, you did. Yeah, we're definitely going to get him some more full spectrum CBD oil. Dog naturally. Calm down his brain. I want to take mine. Mine's from Swanson. Mine's full spectrum hemp extract. It's all the same thing. See? Brain spins around and makes him, when he's in the thing, he gets upset that he can't stand up. Yeah, I was so exhausted last night I couldn't take it. I crashed here briefly until he starts crying again. Crashed again briefly. Had him out a few times. Fed him in the middle of the night at 2:30 in the morning. It's the latest I've ever fed him.